Okay, quick little video hopefully to help you out with section 6.2. So the thing to start out noticing is that the tables that it offers us go from negative infinity either to negative z or negative infinity to z. So what that's doing is that's giving us everything from the left side all the way up to the z value we look for. And the only difference between the two tables are whether the z value we're looking up is negative or if the z value we're looking up is positive. Okay? So this one says we want to find the area to the left of negative 0.91. So area to the left is what our tables give us, and it goes off toward negative infinity. So all we have to do is, since we have negative 0.91, we're going to go to the negative z table. We're going to look up negative 0.9. Okay, that's this row. But then we want 0.1. So that is, we have to look across the top. That's the next to the last column. We got negative 0.91 right there is our value that we want. Okay, 0.1814. Okay, 0.1814. Submit our answer. That's it. So if it says area to the left, you just look up whatever z value it gives you. Okay, so we've got several of those just to give you some practice. This one's another negative 0.97, area to the left. So that's really similar to the last one. Let's find one that's a little different. That's negative 1.02. Again, that's really similar. Okay, let's look at this one. So this one says find the area to the right of 2.17. Well, our tables give us area to the left. Okay, so what's going on here? Let's take a look. What's going on here is that this is telling us to find this area, the area to the right of 2.17. Okay, but our tables give us area to the left. So there are a couple of ways we can do this problem with these tables, but probably the easiest way is to realize that the curve is symmetric. So what we can do is we can just change the sign of our z value and look up the area to the left, and that's going to be the same as this area over here to the right. Okay. So since it says I want the area to the right of 2.17, what I'm going to do is instead I'm going to look up negative 2.17. Okay, so I'd go to my table here, look at negative 2.1, that's this row, and then 7 is this column, so 0.0150. So anytime it says to the right, you're going to look up the opposite of what it gives you. Okay. All right, let's look at another one. It says find the area to the right of negative 2.37. Well, it gave me negative 2.37, but I want the area to the right. So instead, I'm going to look up positive 2.37. So I'll go down to 2.3, that's this row, but I want the 7 column. So that's 3 from the end. We'll get 0.9911. Okay. 0.9911. All right. So look at this one. Same type. We want the area to the right, so it'd be negative 0.49 is what I would look up, and that'll give me the area to the right. I want to get into the trickier ones. Okay. This one says we want to find the area under the standard normal curve between these two z values. Okay. So to find the area between two z values, all we do is we look them both up, and then we subtract the two areas. Okay, so first I'm going to look up 0.049. Okay, so that one is going to be right there, 0.6879. And then I'm going to write that down. Okay, so 0.6879. That's one of my areas. Then I'm going to look up 2.05. So 2.05 is right here, I believe. 2.05, yeah, so 0.9798. And then we will subtract these two areas. Okay, the thing to remember here is that the answer cannot be negative because we're finding area. So we'll put the biggest one first. So we'll subtract, so 0.9798 minus 0.6879. We'll get 0.2919. And that should be our answer if I looked at the table correctly. So let's see, 0.2919. I missed my decimal. Let's try that. Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry if you heard the dog barking there. All right, and then there's one more type of problem. Okay, that's what we call the area in the two tails. So this one says find the area to the left of negative 2.77 and to the right of negative 2.22. So this is really just like two problems put together. So first we're going to find the area to the left of negative 2.77. So I'm just going to look at negative 2.77. Okay, so there's 2.77 would be 0.0028. So I'm going to type that into my calculator to save it. Okay, so there's that area. And then the other one we want is the area to the right of negative 2.22. So since it says to the right, I'm going to look up the opposite. So I'm going to look up positive 2.22. So go to positive 2.22. Positive 2.22 is 0.9868. So I'm going to add that to the 0.0028 from the last one. So 0.0028 from the last Z value plus 0.9868. Add those together and get 0.9896. And that should be our answer. There we go. So if it says to the left, just look it up. If it says to the right, look up the opposite. If it says between, look them both up and subtract. The answer can't be negative. And if it's one like this where we got the area in the two tails, you just treat them like separate problems and add your answers together. And it's just 4 types of area. Okay, hope that helps.